Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. See, we did the intro this time. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And I'm Will.
And today we will be talking about a few things, a few little things. Because as of right now, as I said before on last episode, we do not have a date of when Dino Fury is starting, so don't ask us. So we will just be covering other little things, that's happening in the community that is dealing with the Ranger actors, per usual, because that's what we do. But before we start, I would just like to tell everybody that we are on Apple Podcasts, we are on Google Podcasts, we are on Spotify, we are on SoundCloud, we are on YouTube, we are everywhere that you listen to podcasts. We are on Christian Mingle, Grindr, Scruff, Jacked. We are everywhere, okay?
Okay.
We are everywhere. We are on, Christian Mingle. We are on Hey Cupid. We are everywhere, okay? Like, we are everywhere where you can find podcasts, wherever. We are there.
I mean, like, they could actually find us because we are on those dating apps.
Are we really?
I don't know. Are you not?
I'm not.
Well, I'm not at the moment, but like,
I'm not on it now. Like, I'm recording with y'all.
But it would be pretty awkward. Don't actually try to find us. We don't want to date.
I mean, that's weird. Please don't.
We love you, but we don't want that kind of like interaction with you.
No, not at all. Even though there are some fans that I haven't seen that I'm like, ooh. I'm like, ooh, you a fan? Ooh, I want to see you at Power Morphicon.
I mean, hey, you know what? I mean, you know where we are. You can hit us up if y'all single and looking. Or what? Single and make ready.
You really gonna put that out there? Really?
Single
Listen,
and ready to mingle. You know where to find us. Hey.
Listen, I'm just over here like I done seen a couple of them before, and I'm like, yeah, like you can. Okay. There's a meeting in my bedroom.
You know what? I have to say this, okay? I have to say this. My sister actually pointed this out to me, and so before the pandemic, I used to travel quite often. Obviously to LA to see Brennan, just all over the world. And one of my friends keeps saying to me, like, and I'm forever single, by the way, but like my friends keep saying to me, oh, maybe you'll meet someone at the airport or on your way, like all that jazz, right? And I'm always like, no, it would never happen. Trust me, it will never happen. And my friend's always like, why are you so damn negative for? I'm like, no, biatch, I'm not negative. And I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. For some strange reason, and I say this with no shade at all. I really genuinely have no shade towards this. I actually love this. Every guy that I tend to attract that comes my way is literally gay.
Oh, well.
It's literally gay. And I'm saying this like genuinely, truly. Even my sister pointed this out. She's like, because like we're talking about like how we're not very sociable people in like in group gathering and whatever. And I'm sure you guys remember this from a previous episode where, Will and I said the same thing. We're not very sociable people. Like we don't really like, approaching people, right? And especially in real life. So my sister and I were talking about this, and I was like, yeah, I know what you mean. And, I'm always very talkative and I'm loud, but like, I'm not like that when you first meet me because I don't know you and I don't know my surrounding. I don't know who's going to judge me. Not that I care about people's opinion, but also at the same time, I really don't need to show that side to people who don't deserve it. This is me, but you don't deserve it if you don't know me. Right. So anyhow, she's like, you're such a liar. People are attractive to you. They come to you all the time. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she pointed out the fact that literally everywhere we go, we're the two that sits in the corner. But by the end of the night, it's a party in my corner because of all the gay guys that come towards our corner, and it's always me that attracts them. And I don't know why. And this
is funny.
Remember, Brendan, when you and I went to Power Morphicon last like our last 2018 one, and we met
Yep.
more gay
We
friends,
did.
right? Not like I said, I love it. I'm not against it by any means. And our gay friends are fucking attractive, like just fucking attractive, like they are extremely attractive. And then of course that's how I met Brennan. Again, like
Exactly.
this is really no shade. I just don't attract straight guys for some strange reason. I always track all the gay guys and I love them. They're amazing. It's a party. I absolutely love it. I really do. So
we already know the
So
tea.
what do you do for dating? Do you just go on the apps to find?
Yeah, I just go on the apps and I just go on the apps mainly. And obviously they're not really honest about what they really want. Like it's unfortunate. Or they, or I hate the whole like I'm not really looking. I'm trying to see what's out there. And I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck do you want? Come on.
Seems like
gosh.
Like,
gosh, don't even get me triggered. Don't even get me started on dating. Because people are just absolutely ridiculous.
They are. They really are. Like, I'm just like, okay, if you genuinely I hate what I also hate too is like they are looking for a relationship, but they don't want to say it. So then they hang out with you. Not that it happened to me, but it happened to my sister. And then they actually cut her off because they quote unquote found a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so why did you just weren't looking for a relationship? Why didn't you just say I'm not looking for a relationship with you because you're just not what I'm looking for, but I want to bang you. Okay. Give me that option.
Sometimes that honesty is probably just the best.
No,
because if you keep somebody in suspense, you can hurt them worse. And just rip the Band-Aid off.
And you're gaslighting them because you're making them think that like they're worth it. Like, and then when things don't go well, they're gonna assume it's them. They're gonna assume that they're the one that did something, that said something. And it's like, why you gotta be like that? Just be straight the fuck up. Hey, listen,
be straightforward.
You know what? I am looking for a relationship, but I'm not entirely sure if you're the person I'm looking for. I'm fine to get to know each other to see if this is what we both want. If not, that's cool. I'm also interested in banging you. Are you interested in banging me? Okay, cool. Consensual. Let's do this. I'm just saying, like, just be fucking forward. Why you gotta be around the bush? Why you gotta lie about it? And then you complain to how you can't find a good person in your life. Well, bitch, that kind of karma you're putting out, you're getting back.
That's my favorite. Like, can't trust these people over here. It's like, well,
like, excuse me, like, I'm sorry, what you're putting out there is what you're receiving. Okay, just saying.
I mean, and I mean, I kind of had, that's kind of like also story of my life as well. It's just like, and I mean, that's why I've always, as you know for yourself, like, Lena, I'm like, I've been saying that ain't happening. Like, I'm just, I'm not doing this. I'm just not, because like, that's always what I've like gotten for like the most part. That's always what I've gotten, is just like, oh yeah, I'm not really looking for anything. And what I've come to learn in my, my time of living in LA is I had to learn the hard way that when someone is saying, oh, I just want to see where things go. I just want to do this. I just want to do that. When somebody does that, typically they got a roster. They got a roster, or they're planning on building one. Like they trying to have a rotation. And it's like, you're not the only person that they're seeing, because the gag is, and we need to go ahead and start, because this show is not about educating people on relationships, but we will have an episode about that if that's what you want. But but no,
we're just giving you the proper etiquette if you're gonna slide into our DMs. That's all.
Hello, boom, there you go. But yeah, like there's a certain energy that goes into if somebody's feeling you or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain energy that goes into that. And not everybody, like, if you'll know that energy when somebody is really like trying to like give it to you, like somebody's really trying to like see it for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know that energy because it's gonna be there. Like there's that energy will be there, and it will be so thick that there is no denying it. Like there's no doubting it. There's just like, I know this person is like, they feel it. Like I know this. And it's one of those situations where it's like, I've seen it happen and even been through it so much to the point where it's like, I've seen so many people just be like, oh, well, they'll start out one way and then all of a sudden midway through, that energy just changed like out of nowhere. And I always feel it. I'm like, you must have done found somebody else. Or you doing something else, or I am no longer a priority in your life at this moment. Because at first, while you was getting to know me and all this stuff, like we staying on the phone up until the wee hours of the night. We, seeing each other every other weekend. All this stuff, like, or every other day, or we on the phone forever. We on the phone all the time. We texting all the time. Now all of a sudden it went from that to, I'm not getting any responses for you for like 5-6 hours or half the day, and then finally you come back being like, oh, I was busy. You know what I'm saying? Or you text me like mad days later and was like, oh, I saw your message, but I forgot. Like, it's just like, I hear that. Like, enough of that, and then it's like, okay, I'm starting to see where this is going. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I understand that everybody have lives and everybody also are working on themselves. And sometimes self-care does and should also come in between the situation. I understand that, but there are 24 hours in a day and you do not self-care all day.
No, and not even, no, and not even just that. But if you made the time before, what changed now?
What changed now?
What changed now?
What changed now?
That's my thing. It's like, you made that effort before, you had no problem. And then the bottom line is too, you and I both know, and everyone else in the world, you make time for the people you genuinely want in your life.
Boom. Hello. Let's run on that. Let's run on that. Okay, I'm literally like running around in circles. Like, like it is what it is. Like, you make time for the people that you want to make time for. Yep. Let's just say what it is. Let's say the thing. Like, if you don't want to make time for that person, you need to go ahead and make it plain, make it clear. Like, okay, so this is what I want. Like, boom. But I also do realize as well, the main reason, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. The main reason, and I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to really hear this, and I want y'all to capture this and catch it. I want y'all to catch it real fast. Catch it real fast in the spirit. When someone, the reason why a lot of people won't actually tell you what they want is because they actually want to keep you around, because they know that if they actually tell you what they really actually want, they know you'll leave. And you won't have and they won't have access to you anymore.
Yeah, that is true. That is very
They know
true.
that there is a huge possibility that you will walk out and you will walk away from them. So they will just keep stringing you along and letting you give them what they want.
Girl, boy, you didn't deserve my time to begin with. Bye.
You didn't deserve it. Goodbye. Goodbye. Because I'm telling you right now, the moment that they tell you and you say, oh, I'm not down with that, they know, oh crap, they're going to leave me. So they'll sit there and string you along. Now, the other gag to this is, a lot of times they're doing that dumb crap, and literally you want the same exact thing, and they're just sitting there stringing you along when they don't even have to, because all they have to do is just tell the truth, and y'all both will be happy because y'all both getting the same thing. But child, it's much more easier to lie.
Well, no, is it though? Is it easy to lie? Because I feel like that's way more of a front you're putting on than just being genuine about it.
I mean, it is easy for people to do that though.
It's easy. It's easy to sit there and lie. Now, granted, it's not easy when the lie comes to fruition, when it comes out to the open, and then they have to deal with the repercussions of those lies. That part isn't easy. But then most of the time they just sit there and deflect and be like, well, it's your fault. So, you know, there you have it. Because accountability, what's that?
Right? Like, exactly. Accountability? No, that doesn't exist in my world.
What's accountability? Please. Accountability, please. But, you know, that's a little, you know, relationship one-on-one talk for y'all today. But we are not going to be talking about relationships, even though we should, because I'm going to tell you right now, that whole relationship between Catherine and Tommy, ooh, child, should have never happened. But
I agree.
Should have never happened. But we are not going to be reading them. Because what we're going to be talking about today, I do think that we had a little brief conversation before the show. We had a little brief conversation in the pre-show, gathering all of our things together for this episode. But we were talking about a little piece of news where it came out that Mortal Kombat will be, you know, getting this shine, getting the sequel. And, you know, we had some ideas behind that. Now, I know a lot of y'all have listened to this episode. And, that particular episode where we reviewed the Mortal Kombat movie. And you guys have heard our opinions on it. They were not the most wonderful opinions on the movie. Because as a whole, we did not care for it. I mean, there were some glimmers, there were some nice little things. Like some of the kills were pretty dope. You know, there was some glims, some glimmer of light in the movie that we did enjoy. But for the most part, you know, we didn't really too much care for the fact that it was basically a random brand new character that does not exist in the actual lore Mortal Kombat story. So, did not too much care for that. So yeah, it is definitely getting a green light. So I just want to go ahead and ask the people. I want to ask y'all, how y'all feel about that?
I think it's cool. I like the fact that they left it open-ended, and they left the next film would be the actual tournament, which that's really cool, and that's really exciting. I'm hoping that Ludi Lin, he gets more to do next time. I kind of doubt it. I mean, you know what? That's not even fair, because they have a new writer, so it is possible that this writer may do things a bit differently. So,
they do.
I would love, yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, we hope they actually do more Mortal Kombat lore than before.
Right.
Yeah, I think the guy's name is Jeremy something. I think that's what I put in the whose name? Jeremy Slater.
Okay. Come on, Jeremy Slater.
Yeah, hopefully he does something, you know, something a little bit different. Like I would love, because Liu Kang deserves more. That's a legendary character. Like he deserves more.
For sure.
And we love Ludi Lin, and we want to see him do more stuff.
We do.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm gonna disagree with you, Will. It did not end on an open-end note. It ended with, we're gonna go find Johnny Cage. Just saying. So that to me means that there's gonna be a second movie. And on top of all of that, they didn't give it an all-star cast for it to be, oh, that's it. And on top of all of that, they didn't revamp this franchise for it to be a one-movie situation.
This is very true. Like that's my main point. I think for me is that like they definitely, you can tell that they were definitely gunning for this movie to be a series. Like it wasn't just like a
whole Marvel
it wasn't a one and done. Yeah. Kind of like how they tried to do with the 95 movie. Question mark.
Yeah.
Even though now I'm not gonna hold y'all, Annihilation has a special place in my heart. because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Jade is my favorite character for the main reason because she overacted the hell out of that role, and I love every bit of it. I love it. It was so easy. I love it.
So
I
those
love
are
it.
my thoughts. But I will say this: I really hope they do a better job with Louis Tan's character, because I just felt like this past movie he wasn't doing anything. They gave him so many things, and he really didn't do anything.
Girl, I ain't gonna even give it that, girl. My thing was,
well, you know what? They're gonna follow him again, right? Like he's the main character of the second movie as well, too. Like just like how he's the main character in the first. And I just felt like, yeah, they made him the main character, but they didn't give him like really much. It didn't really like. It was just more of like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I got this power, or I got this tournament, like, and how do I say this? They genuinely used him for his stunt, but they didn't give him enough of a decent storyline.
They didn't.
You know?
Like the thing is, for me, and it's just clearly from like a character standpoint. My thing is with his particular character in general, like you're taking a huge risk by trying to create this brand new character that didn't exist. Like you're taking, especially in a lore of Mortal Kombat that has like a whole roster of
decent people that you could have picked from and have it be the
main,
you know, everyone genuinely thought Louis Tan would have been either Johnny Cage or Liu Kang. Was that his name?
Liu Kang, yeah.
Yeah. Like they genuinely thought that whenever I would talk to people about the movie and they have no idea, they've never seen it, they genuinely thought Louis Tan would be one of those characters. And I'm like, honestly, I would have been fine if he was one of those characters, because he definitely has the ability to play either of those characters, right? And they didn't. They made him into they gave him a brand new character for him to run on. And this character really didn't have much of a storyline either. And even though the backstory that they gave him didn't seem to suit his character either, especially based on the decisions he was making.
Right. There was a lot of things in the movie itself that his character did that just didn't make sense. It was like there's just so many things.
He's
like
a married man.
So many things.
Yeah,
like you know, the main part that got me was the whole connection to Scorpion. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't buy this. Like, I don't buy it. Like, you know,
they didn't even properly, in my opinion. Maybe you can actually break it down for you if you guys know. I still don't understand that connection to Scorpion. Yeah, I don't get it. I guess he's an ancestor of from someone in the past, but I really don't get their connection.
Yeah, so like basically he's basically like from my understanding, he carries Scorpion's bloodline. Like he's an ancestor of Scorpion.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah, so like that's how come he had like that ability to like do the whole thing with the like what is it that rope crap that he was doing and all that stuff. Like that's how come he had that ability, because like
but
of
yet,
his
he didn't
connection
know
to
that
Scorpion.
He had these powers until much later. Why did he have to reach a certain age? Like, what is this?
Whatever the reason was, like, of unlocking that power, whatever it was. I mean, I was just like,
like it was just so weird. Like he had a normal childhood. He obviously had a normal adulthood. He got married, had a child. Like, and
he was a fighter that sucked.
Yeah, he was a fighter that sucked, which is so stupid because again, if y'all know Louis Tan, you know that he's actually a really good fighter, you know? So it's just sort of like so then they also made it seem like he had no money and that's why he had to fight. But then his family seemed like they're well off. So I'm really confused.
Yeah, they did kind of seem like they were pretty
Well
decent.
off,
So
right? So I genuinely am confused. Like they just seem like they were struggling. Like the wife seemed happy and like they went out for food after. Like, I don't know. I just have so many questions when it came to his character. And you know that like I love Louis Tans. It's not like I'm shitting on him, but I genuinely have so much question about his character. I don't like his character.
I didn't either.
I'm like,
I didn't either.
Like, you could have literally played any other existing character, and no one would have questioned it.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I did not like that character.
I don't know if it's because I not like the biggest Mortal Kombat fan. Like he didn't bother me. I was just upset that Liu Kang didn't really get a big focus. It just makes sense to focus on him as much as you can, or at least just more than what they did. One of my close friends is a really big Mortal Kombat fan. He cannot stand that character.
Well, I mean,
I just don't understand. I still don't understand why they felt the need to make an original character. That just doesn't.
I don't get that. I mean, if y'all guys don't know, like I actually never seen a Mortal Kombat movie up until now. So this is coming from somebody who never even seen any of the previous one or played the video game. And I didn't like his character.
So. I mean, I'm not like the most like I don't fault like I'm not gonna sit here and try to play like, oh, I'm this like Mortal Kombat buff or anything like that. Yeah. But I know it well enough because I played a lot of the games.
Yeah.
And I know, and I played the story mode for the most part for all of them. So like I kind of know the gist of majority of the story.
Right.
For the most part.
Right.
And so for me, it's like his character, like there's so many characters that they could have brought into the story. And there's so many other stories that they could have told it from. Because my thing is, we all know that pretty much largely Mortal Kombat is a Liu Kang story. So everybody pretty much expected Mortal Kombat to be from the eyes of Liu Kang. Now, it didn't necessarily have to be, which I'm pretty sure they were probably playing on like the, diverting from expectations kind of a thing. But also, if you're going to do that, like still do that with characters that exist. You don't have to basically recreate you don't have to create a brand new character just to be like, oh yeah, like here you go kind of a thing. Like you don't have to do that. Well, at least not to me. Like they didn't have to do that, but somehow they figured, yeah, we need to go ahead and pull this character out of our asses that didn't even exist. And it's like, and then you gave him this whack ass power. And it's like, what is this? Like, what is he wearing? Like, why does he look like somebody's Gold Ranger? Like, I'm just looks.
I thought
like it looks tacky.
What's his name? Jason Momoa's Aquaman was what I was getting.
Yeah,
it's given that too.
Yeah, like that.
It's given that
they could have done a better job. Like when they revealed the suit, I was like, "What are you, Aquaman now?"
I was like, I don't know what he was, but it just wasn't given.
I don't think he knew what he was. I don't think he knew what he was either.
He didn't know what it was, and he didn't know what to do with it because it was obvious he was still getting his behind beat. And it's like, boy, this is awful. This is terrible. Get your life together. But they're doing a little piece of remake. Apparently, they are trying to, like Will said, they have a new writer. So hopefully, they can make some things make sense. And not make them seem so just convoluted and not make sense like the first movie. And that'd be great. But yeah, I personally I'm like, I'm no matter what, I'm excited because I'm really excited to see Ludelin's rendition of Liu Kang. I enjoyed him, but I know a lot of people didn't. I did, and so whatever.
I really and his friend. I can't believe his cousin or friend or whatever. I'm sad he might not be coming back.
Might not. He ain't.
Right.
He's dead.
Whatever.
Right?
Like,
He got his soul sucked.
Like, you know what? It's called restarting the game, okay? It's called restarting the game. Reset. Again, guys.
He got his soul snatched. Oh no. Oh my god.
But overall, I am excited because I do want Luna to come back for round 2. Or else, how would they say it in the game?
Yeah, round 2.
Okay, yeah. So round 2, definitely.
That could be the name of the movie.
Round 2.
Let me shut up. That's an intellectual shit. Let me shut up.
Wow. Round 2. Fight. Finish him. Your soul is mine. Time to snatch your soul. No.
But I have a question. What if you were snatched? Would you still be snatched?
What if I was snatched?
Yeah, like if you're looking snatched, like you're like, ooh, like
girl, listen, I don't think that's the kind of soul snatching that that the people the people want to hear or that the people want to know about. That I don't think that's really what it is, because Shane Soon out here is gathering the kids, gathering them together with his lace front wig. I said, yes, you better serve us this Remy.
Oh my god.
That wig was together. You hear me? That wig was everything. But anywho, we are not talking about wigs. We are talking about these shows and these people. But no, like but yeah, so that happened. That's a thing. So we should be seeing some other stuff probably come up very soon. Talk about Kevin Dehaney's new cartoon. It is called, is it Big Blue?
I thought it was funny that it was called Big Blue, and then he happens to be one of the main characters in there because I'm like, oh, okay.
It's
Big Blue.
Yeah, Big Blue. Yes.
Yeah, because
I was right. I got it off right the first time.
You sure did.
Because normally I would have messed that thing up.
His
badly.
character's name is so close to my name, and it's hilarious because the character he's gonna play in Big Blue is Limo. Like, okay. And funny enough, he also happens to be like a black dude on the show. So I'm like, or black alien with blue hair. So I'm just like, wow, was this character made for Kevin? It's like Power Ranger inspire, like.
Yeah, that was a coincidence. He was blue in here. Yeah.
Right? Like, wow, like what is this? Like, I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe that was something he'll reveal one day, that it wasn't like the character was made based on his time on Power Rangers.
Maybe. Like that's one thing to find out. But so let's get into it, because I know the people want to go ahead. They want to know. They want to know what the show is. They want to know what we're talking about. So Big Blue. What exactly is Big Blue? Big Blue is a cartoon. Now, do we know exactly the demographics for Big Blue? Because I want to say the demographics seem like it's pretty young for the show.
I feel like it's like SpongeBob kind of demographic.
Yeah, like it's for younger kids for sure.
It was interesting because I thought that, but then when I actually watched it, like it was fun. It was easy to follow.
Yeah,
but somebody a little bit older could also watch it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when I was watching it, I didn't feel like I was watching another episode of Megaforce.
Well, it didn't feel it. It didn't feel. Yeah, you're right. It didn't feel like preschool. Like it didn't feel like something I would see on PBS.
Right.
No,
It
it definitely didn't feel like that.
or even like a Nick Jr. like Paw Patrol. Like I feel that feels really young.
No,
This feels young, but it feels like it could be, like I said, like somebody in like elementary school could watch
the
it
best
too.
way I can describe it for me, and you all can, let me know if you agree to disagree. It feels like SpongeBob SquarePants, literally SpongeBob SquarePants.
I don't know. I don't know if it feels like SpongeBob. It does feel like it may be in that kind of around that demographic, but SpongeBob to me, like it has some very adult humor that like people that like adults definitely would be like, oh, I'm watching this because it's funny.
Yo,
like
really quick,
for sure.
I will never freaking forget. There were like two things in particular. When oh god, SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs went panty raiding. And then there was another one where there was another one where mayonnaise, it like exploded in the Krusty Krab, and then just white substances fell on everybody's faces. Like what?
I mean, you know what? To be fair, nowadays everyone's so bloody sensitive, so they're not gonna make another show like that ever again. Like
that was a special time.
Not on a kids channel,
right? Like you'll definitely get them Karens.
Things.
Yeah, you'll definitely get them Karens, like being very upset about it. So I don't know, like I know what you're saying. Like it's not as like adult humor as SpongeBob, but it definitely gives you that mega like was it Mini Force mixed with SpongeBob. So it's very much more toned down, but is on a level that it wasn't like Mega Force, like what is this? So it was very much like, oh, I can enjoy it. I actually did enjoy it towards the end. I'm like, oh, that was quite enjoyable. Like I thought it would be a lot more. I thought I was actually going to torture myself watching.
Yeah, I was actually similar. I was like, oh shit, is this about to be like? Is my brain going to hurt after this? But no, like it felt like a normal cartoon that I would watch, from time to time. Even now, like if I turn to Nickelodeon, like if there's an episode of SpongeBob that I remember, I'll watch it. If they I don't know if they play Jimmy Neutron anymore. If they did that, I will watch that. I used to love that show.
I love Jimmy Neutron.
I don't know. Like for me, I don't know. Like I guess for me, I'm kind of on the side of it didn't do anything for me. And not even from like I thought it was just too kiddie kind of a standpoint. But I was just like, okay, that was fun to review. But would I be like, well, I'm not saying that it's fun to review is elaborating a little, not elaborating, but being a little too generous. But I'm not gonna say it was bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like I was like, oh my God, like no, God, no, this is awful. It wasn't that, and I wasn't trying to pull my locks out while watching it. But like, it didn't. It's not something that I would be like, okay, yeah, like I'm gonna watch this kind of a thing. Like the thing is, and I'm gonna say this, even with SpongeBob, there were certain episodes, like I wasn't like an avid watcher of SpongeBob. Like how my friends are, like I have friends that literally are like SpongeBob like fans. Like they will literally make references to SpongeBob all the time. And for me, I'm just like, but like it doesn't do anything for me, right? But for this, like, and like I felt like this is the same way for me. It's just kind of like it has some things in there that was funny. And if they were to like have like an episode that we were like, oh my God, this is really funny, and they were to show me it, I probably would enjoy it. But it's not something that I would be like, oh yeah, like this is cool. Like, and plus also too, obviously this wasn't made for me either. So it was just like, okay, well, I could definitely see people enjoying it. I will definitely say that. I could definitely say people would enjoy it because it did have some really funny things in it and some good humor. But once again, it's just not something that I would particularly be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna put this on, or oh, I would suggest this to somebody, kind of a thing. Because like I said, I wouldn't even do that with SpongeBob because SpongeBob was never my jam, like ever.
Ah,
Yeah,
wow.
like I
I
was
like
never a fan of
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
I mean, I don't like enough to quote it because I actually don't know it that well. But like, if we were doing nothing all day and SpongeBob happens to be in the background, I wouldn't hate it.
Right, and that's how I feel about this. That's how I feel about this.
Yeah, that's how I feel
It's
about
that
this too.
basically that. Yeah, like if it was in the background, I would hate it. But it, like that, yeah, that's kind of where I am.
Oh yeah,
Now
no,
speaking of
sure. Go
yeah,
ahead.
now speaking of SpongeBob though, like I ain't gonna even hold you. There are certain things that I still go up for, like Krusty Krab,
Oh
like that right
God, I was
there
thinking about that.
kills my everlasting soul. Like that kills me, and I will laugh every time. But but there are just some things I'm just like, okay, all right, y'all did that. Okay, that was cute. All right, next kind of a thing, you know. So I don't know, but to each his own. So the episodes that we watched, now I only watched the ones that you sent in the chat. Is that we're reviewing just that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it was, I guess this was episode 1 and 2. So it was 2 episodes. So the first episode is the little. They're okay. So we have the characters, right? We have Bacon Berry, which is a little cute little.
She's mean.
F.
I'm Bacon
She's
Berry.
cute.
She
Well,
is
yes.
so stinking cute.
I thought she was a butterfly at first.
I didn't know what she was.
I have no idea what she is still.
Right, like she's not an underwater butterfly. Like I'm confused. Is she not? Like, because I thought for sure she was. But she's like a cute little underwater butterfly. And then you got Freddie, who is like, what is Freddie? I don't know what Freddie is, but I know Phil is the dolphin looking thing. That's Phil. Limo is the little black kid, little alien black kid. And Letty is the little alien black girl. And
Would you say he's a turtle? I feel like he's a turtle.
Girl, I feel like he's something. I know he ain't human. I don't know what the heck he is.
Maybe he's a turtle without the shell.
I mean, that's kind of what he looks like.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he looks like.
Literally looks like and then he has like a purple bandana. So it's really giving me Donatello vibes. And I'm like, and he's literally the color green too. So
I mean, yes.
Wait.
So I mean,
so that little I don't know. I don't know if she's a butterfly now. That's a good question.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what she is. I don't know what that girl is. But yeah, so that these are the main characters of the show. And they basically work for this little I guess agency of underwater people protecting the deep blue sea. And yes, basically that's what they do. They're kind of like agents who protect the waters.
When you hear the deep blue sea, all I can think of is there's a pineapple that lives under the tree.
SpongeBob SquarePants. Hey.
I thought you were going to say the movie Deep Blue Sea.
No.
You talking about with LL Cool J and Samuel
with
Jackson?
Yes, with the big ass shark, the big ass smart sharks.
Oh my God. I'm going to tell you right now, that movie will always live rent free in my head because I'm telling you right now, that part where Samuel Jackson is talking shit by that open pool and that thing jumped up and snatched his ass.
When I tell you that shit had me in tears,
crying
for years. Like every time I saw that.
Like, y'all ain't had to
Oh
do that
my
man like
God. That
that.
was like a go-to movie at like 10, 11 years old. I used to watch that over and over.
Why, Will? Why?
I don't
Just
know. I used to
why?
watch that. I guess it was an LL thing because I used to watch that and I used to watch H2O all the time.
Ooh, not an LL thing. Okay. I see your type.
He was cool.
Anyway,
He was cool.
like I'm big and burly. Ooh. Yes, Will. Ooh. But anyway, but yes. But no, so yes, so these are the characters in the show. So yeah, so basically the first episode is they are trying to track down this goo that is going through the ocean, and they're like, we got to track this down, y'all got to clean it up. And they're like, oh, okay, let's do it. Come to find out, however, this goo that they are tracking down is actually being dropped by a malevolent who? Like, what? The words are hard today. Oh God. Jesus Christmas. An evil goo thing that is trying to turn everything evil. And come to find out.
Wait. Doesn't it remind you from that time in Wheel of Time where they were in that city where this black thing is like covering the city?
Yes.
I can see that, but now I'm thinking
see that.
Okay, I see that, and then I also see the dirty bubble from SpongeBob.
What dirty bubble?
There's SpongeBob and Patrick watch a show called was it Barnacle Man and what was it?
Barnacle Man
and
Merman?
What's the boy? Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, which is
Yeah.
basically a spoof off of the 1966 Adam West Batman. And one of the big bads, one of the rogues gallery is the Dirty Bubble.
And what does the dirty bubble do, if you don't mind me asking?
It's literally a bubble that's dirty. And it like wreaks havoc.
So it's just
it is a living bubble of dirt.
It's just a bubble that's dirty.
I mean, that's what this thing was. Kind of, sort of. Well, I guess it was a bubble of something.
I'm so confused. So it's just a bubble that just goes around dirtying things up. That's what you're saying, right? Is that it?
I have to show you.
We'll have to look this up to confirm. Essentially, yeah, I guess.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It even kind of looks like this.
Send it to us.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, this is great.
Oh,
now I want to watch
goodness.
SpongeBob. Jesus.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to watch this episode now too.
Oh my God. I cannot. But anywho, so this not dirty bubble. This ooze thing is flying through the ocean like a Tomb Raider, just like dropping its ooze on people and turning them into angry zombie things. Well, come to find out, the captain basically tells the people, basically lets his commander know or whatever, that it comes from pollution. So I actually thought that was actually pretty cool that they are trying to be environmentally conscious about things. And I was like, you know what? That's actually kind of cool that they really actually made the monster like an actual comparison to like real life stuff. I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh,
well, check your chat. The dirty bubble. It's hilarious.
Excuse me?
The dirty bubble.
Look at the cosplayer.
Oh my God.
I love that though.
You know, I love the fact that the dirty bubble ate Barnacle Man and what's the other guy's name?
Mermaid.
Oh no, Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy.
Boy,
I love how he ate it and it's just floating inside this dirty bubble.
I have no words. I just
I'm really gonna have no words for this because this one is disturbing. It's somebody's
excuse me.
Special art of
Oh
somebody
no.
made
No,
this.
Will, no. No, Will. No. Oh no. No.
Gave him hips.
Oh
No.
And a nice big belly.
look at his skin. Look at his skin.
Oh my God.
Oh,
It is
no.
really good.
He
It
kinda
is
looks
really
like
giving
Patrick.
Mr. Hanky.
He looks like Patrick. Oh my God, what if that is Patrick all dirty?
It looks
Ew.
like Mr. Hanky.
That too.
Like if they gave
Who's
Mr.
Mr.
Hanky a
Hanky?
body. Mr. Hanky from South Park?
Oh,
Oh no, you never seen Mr. Hanky before?
yeah, I gotta look it up.
Oh,
Oh my
God.
God. Some of this
But
other
anywho.
art, they have a dirty bubble messing with one of the other bad guys. Oh my goodness.
Sir,
Wow.
no, we are not about to fall down
Yeah,
the
this
rabbit hole
is
of this.
just yeah.
So we are
you know,
not about to do this.
we have the dirty bubble. We got dirty slime. Like what? It's a thing.
Oh my God.
Mr. Hanky's a
No.
turd. Ew.
Yes. Mr. Hanky is poo. He is the Christmas poo. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. Yes. Anyway, so yes, that is a thing. Anywho, we are not talking about nasty, disturbing things. But no, but yes. So this little piece of whatever is going around creating havoc, and come to find out that the little underwater butterfly little girl, she and her people have the power. The who?
Baconberry.
Yes, Baconberry. Yes, that's her name. Not Butterfly Girl, but anywho. Baconberry is she has the power to basically eradicate these little things. And
that was cool. That was really cool.
She ended up fighting it and saving everybody. So I thought that was kind of cool too. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, the whole episode, they wouldn't let her do anything because she was quote unquote too young.
Right. That was the B plot of the story, where it was just like, oh, she's too young, and she's like,
no, I'm not too young. I can do this.
And they were just like, she couldn't brush her teeth, she couldn't potty, she couldn't cut with scissors, she couldn't use glue, like she couldn't do nothing. Like they wouldn't let that little girl do nothing. And then she ended up using the bathroom by herself and proving that she could do it, and while saving all everybody too.
And they didn't even know that she saved them.
Exactly. So that was the end. And then here's the thing too, and what I really actually like about this show is that they're like little, like it was like 15 minutes long. Like these episodes aren't long. Like they're actually pretty quick.
Yeah, it's literally just like a Nicktoon. A Nicktoon that like that whole half an hour is really just like, like between commercial breaks, the whole episode is like 20 minutes, if that. Well, I guess between the two episodes, that's a part of it. I have to say, this episode made me think that the series was going to like follow this, like the story in particular.
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it ended up being like it's not serialized, so they're just going to be, you know, different random stories. There probably won't be a continuity. That kind of annoyed me, but I get it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't blame you because I actually was thinking the same thing, to be honest. I thought that it was going to be a little piece of continuity as well. I was like, oh, so we're going to get like a whole little world of like them trying to fight off this little piece of little thingy, but apparently not. Like I guess it's just like a one-off episode kind of a thing. So it's like, okay, cool. I guess. So yeah. But yeah, overall, that was the first episode. The second episode um was basically it was Kevin Dehaney's character,
Limo.
Limo,
Mm-hmm.
who basically he was wanting to start a band.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to
And
start playing with everybody.
with everybody, and nobody, you know, wanted to play any reindeer games. And he and because he was so concerned about playing in this band and creating this band, he almost basically destroyed everything and got everything, you know, mixed up in some mess. And so, but at the same time, while he almost got everything wrecked and, you know, almost got him killed by the Kraken, apparently, because whatever that thing was. Because didn't they say it was a Kraken, or they were trying to figure out if it was a Kraken or not? I was just like, this is confusing me. But they were trying to like, you know, go against this thing, and it was just like, okay, yeah, no. He was just like, he figured out in the end, like, yeah, we can actually use our surroundings in order to, you know, banish the thing away. And he ended up saving the day. So that was the second episode. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys? Well, let me ask this: what do you guys think about the two episodes? Which ones did you like?
I personally liked the Bacon Berry better, just because I thought she was adorable. But I don't know. I take that back. I like both episodes equally because they both brought different dynamic into the show. What I think could happen, because we're not watching all of it, but what I think could happen is that maybe it's an introduction of each character, and then afterwards they might do a continuity storyline. You never know. But also, this is like a kids TV show, so who knows, right?
Yeah.
But that could be a thing, because kind of like with SpongeBob, you know how like SpongeBob every episode is something different, but then there's still certain things I guess carry forward, right?
Yeah.
So, but I did like both of them equally. I think I like them both equally because they were based on different characters, so they wasn't like the same character.
I feel like I agree with you in terms of like the show in general. I did actually I like both episodes. I do, me personally, I was going to agree with you on the fact of like me liking the first episode more. I definitely liked the first episode a lot more than the second. Not saying that I didn't like the second,
Yeah,
but I did like the first one a lot more.
me too. Yeah, the second one was
Yeah.
kind of silly. It was. I think it was even more silly in the sense that like they knew how dangerous this creature was, and yet they still fell into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, what? Huh? What is it?
I really I really enjoyed the first episode. I like that it kind of followed the little girl. I thought that she and really made it seem like she was like the main character. Like it really I love that she was the one that was able to defeat the slime thingy. I also thought it was really cool that it was turning people into zombies, angry zombies. It was just cool. It was just a cool episode. So I think for and I think it might be because what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't. Like I said before, I thought like it was gonna, kind of maybe like follow a certain I guess I watched too many live action shows. I thought it was gonna follow like a certain like serialized like story. So when I saw something totally different, I was like, what's going on? So like I kind of like took me out of it a bit. So I really liked that first episode. That was really fun.
Okay. Well, if you guys had to rate it, what would you rate it?
I would give both episodes a 3.5. Actually, yeah, 3.5 for both.
Okay.
I I really really like that first episode. So I give it a 3. The second one wasn't bad, but it's just I give that a 3 too.
3
as well. Mm-hmm.
I am going to say the same actually. I would, but my thing is for me, it would definitely be more of like a high 3 situation for the first one and a low 3 for the second. If I were to like do like a high or a low kind of a thing, that's what I would rate it as. I would just do like a high and a low. Because they were both fun. I enjoyed them both. But like I said, I'd rather watch I'd rather watch the first one. Like the first one was like my favorite one of the one of all of them, and then like and then the second one. So not saying that the second one was bad, but I just preferred the first one more than the second. So yeah, that is our review on Big Blue. So if you want to check it out, it is on YouTube. Definitely like check it out. It's actually a lot of fun. It's a quick watch. It's literally like 14, 15 minutes long. Yeah. Like it's not
it's a good
anything.
You know what? It's also good to de-stress with it because like you don't have to think about it. It's fun. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you smile even. You know?
For real. It's really freaking cute. Mm-hmm. It really is.
So definitely we recommend it. And the whole thing is obviously based in Toronto, of Canada. So there you go. There's that too.
You just had to throw that little piece in there, huh?
And I also wanted to say that the writer and creator of the show is a Black man.
Oh,
so there
did not know that.
Yeah, and like I'll send you guys the interview not an interview, but like a clip of him in the chat. But yeah, it was a black man that came up with it. Obviously, Canadian. He wanted something that all of us can relate to, and he kind of did an interview of how he came up with the storyline, and basically he was kind of like saying like, how everyone's always talking about going to space, and he's like, fuck going to space. How about the underwater world?
I mean, because we never actually explored it, so It makes sense.
And that's what he pretty much said. He was just like why the fuck not? We're always talking about going to space. Like, why are we always up into the space? Like, I feel like the underwater life is probably your safer bet. And I'm like, you know what, boy, you probably ain't wrong. Like, you ain't wrong.
Good point.
So yeah, so this is how, like, I mean, think about it. There's hotels underwater. There's like all kinds of things underwater, right? So it's just, so we know for a fact that we can actually build something underwater and it actually sustain and it'll survive, right? Where if you fly out to space and that rocket ship ain't coming back, girl, boy, dude, whoever, you're dying because you're not gonna have enough air for a starter. You're dying because you can't actually come back to Earth.
Okay.
And you're also dying because you can't grow anything. Not that I'm saying grow anything like in the sea life, but at least on the bright side, you're still on Earth, so you can actually, take a ship back up, or they can send a ship back down. So there's at least greater chances of them sending help.
Right.
Versus all the way up in space, So
you're in space and then you literally just like suffocate and die. And oh my God, this is bad.
Right.
Die.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what I would rather. Like, do I want to be like one of those 100 kids, you know, in that series 100, the 100, where I end up dying in space, or whatever I die on Earth? I'm like, I think I'll take my chances on Earth. Space just sounds like a really horrible way to die.
No, seriously, because I'm gonna tell you right now, like, first of all, just knowing that literally, like, you could literally suffocate and like freeze to death at the same time in space is scary. That is scary to me.
Right? That is very scary. Like, no, thank you. Bye.
Like, it's so cold and literally just like there's no oxygen. So like it's like a double whammy. Like it's terrible, which literally just goes. Go ahead.
I was real quick. I was gonna say, you guys talking about this reminded me of the Sandra. I think it's Sandra Bullock was in the movie where she's an astronaut and she's outside of her shuttle, and like the piece that attaches her to it snaps, and then she's trying to hold on, and then she just starts drifting off into space. She's like freaking out and everything, and that I had to say that preview made me want to see it. I still haven't seen it, but it made me want to see it. It looked
Oh my God. Jesus Christmas. Oh my goodness. I can't. But because I'm waiting for you to be like, oh yeah, this movie was good. And then be like, well, I still haven't seen it, but boy.
I haven't seen it either, so that's why I didn't say jack all.
Oh my God.
But I was like,
anywho.
Okay, we're talking about space. Got it. Cool. All right.
Oh my God.
Loading off. Okay, cool. Copy that.
Oh my goodness.
And then we end it with, I haven't seen it.
Yes, I haven't seen it, but totally haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
But yes. So we are moving into the comics talk of the show. So we're going to be talking about comics and more comics. We're going to be talking about Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin issues 10. So we're going to start off with Mighty Morphin because that's what we do.
Okay. We do. Can I say real quick? I'm very disappointed. I'm not sure which issue this one is. I do get them confused, but I'm kind of disappointed with both issues. That it was just like they dwelled on the same conversation for so long.
Yeah.
I was like, what? This is literally the entire issue? What? That's it?
So I'm not going to hold you. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Let's get into it, right? So I'm not sure which one you're talking about because they both kind of did the same thing. But
that's exactly what I meant. Like both of them was like, I think one of them gave me a better like. Actually, no, they both did the exact same. Never mind, they both did the exact same thing. They both dragged a long ass conversation with one fight scene.
Well, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So we're doing Mighty Morphin, right? Mighty Morphin is basically the explanation of how Zed came to be in the comics world. Now let's be very clear. This is the comics. So this is the comics lore. This is what the comics are saying. Now, I'm not sure if they are actually saying that, this is canon, like this explanation is canon or anything like that. You can use that to your own devices. But as far as I'm concerned, the TV show canon is its own separate thing, and the comics world is its own separate thing. But it is kind of cool to conflate the two, and compare notes. It is kind of cool, especially when you start like analyzing certain things, because it does actually make a little sense, and it does kind of fill in holes and fill in gaps where Power Rangers, obviously couldn't do. So basically, this story highlights how Zed came to be. And, and basically says, Zed was always, he was actually a good guy before he was turned into a bad guy, which actually makes a lot of sense when you think about the In Space finale, when he turns back into a human being. Well, turns into a human being.
But I didn't get that part because why did he turn to a human being when he was originally, well, according to the issue, he is basically an alien from the same planet as Zordon.
That's what I'm saying. So you can conflate and compare notes with the two, but the whole idea of that Zed is in actuality not an evil being, but he's actually a good person underneath it. That is the central idea.
Who basically went ballistic. That's basically gonna be me one day, by the way. Like I'm just gonna shit.
Just all of a sudden just start going ape shit and killing people. Just going
not so much killing people, but like, you know how you just had enough? Like everyone is telling you what to do. Everyone expects so much from you or expects certain things from you. And they don't care about what your opinions are. They just care about the greater good or like, whatever, right? And it gets to a point where you're like, okay, so you want me, but you want me as a soldier. You don't actually want my opinion. You don't want any of that. So you're giving me a fancy title for what? For what?
Well, I mean, you sound like you would have an issue with Zordon because that's exactly what Zordon would do.
Oh, I know. I do have an issue with Zordon. We already know we don't like Zordon. Like, you know what though? In the comic series, Zordon did actually tell his superior to break the rules. He told him to go with and get the crystal, even though he's not supposed to.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the whole argument, right? With Zafram and everything. So basically, the whole idea behind this is basically Zafram. Basically, Zardis set everybody up. Zardis set the whole. He basically was playing everybody like a fiddle. He had the crystal enchanted so that whoever touches the crystal would be burned. Their bodies would be completely burned. And basically, when he knew that, of course, Zordon will be basically on his side of being like, yeah, let's just go ahead and get the crystal and end this. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go ahead and just like end this because we got people to save. And he basically went and grabbed the crystal not knowing that it had been enchanted. And, Zarda set him up and got him burned to a crisp. Now, my thing is, and this is the part that gets me, is just the fact that you got this alien thing, right? That just basically like, because basically at this point, the Zeo crystal is like, it's not obviously it's not the crystal we know. Obviously, like it's not the Zeo crystal we know because it looks like one little piece, like one little glass shard, and that's it. Like that's it. Like it doesn't have the 5 different pieces or anything like that. It just looks like one big rock. So like that's that right there. Unless there's a situation where, in a future issue or whatever, Tommy slices it and then it becomes the shards that we know. But for the most part, it just looks like one, cylinder, like one little shard of crystal. But anywho, you just have this situation where, there's a whole lot of, first of all, there's a whole lot of turmoil in terms of the Eltarians and the elders in general, because the elders basically are kind of like these elitists who just are trying to maintain peace and order. That's it. Like they ain't trying to have no issues because they feel like going into other people's areas and other people's planets and trying to tell them what to do is against their way of doing things. Like it just ends up, creating power struggles basically, which in turns create wars. Which in one way I can actually understand what their reasoning is, because it's like, if they want to be primitive and they want to be crazy over here, let them be crazy over there. But they can do that on their own planet. Don't Don't be trying to just jump in and, you know, certain your ideologies on these people when, you know, A, they ain't asked for it, and B, like, they doing that over there. They ain't got nothing to do with you. Kind of a situation. So I kind of can understand it in a way, because I kind of feel like America needs to do that sometimes. Like, mind your business. But, you know, like, but, you know, I can understand where the elders were coming from, but I also could understand Zofram's point of view, which is basically like, well, if they get out of control, you know, and we got to fight them, we might as well just go ahead and stop them before it gets to that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I can see both sides, and it raises a fantastic argument, which is something that I feel doesn't normally happen in Power Rangers. You know, like, you never have that dual situation, that dual thing of like, what is the situation? Like what are all the sides? Like, it's normally always black and white, but there's never any gray in between. So I really appreciated that argument, that little piece, because that was a really big part of, you know, the main kicker when it turns into, you know, Zophram being like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to go ahead and take the crystal because I had enough. You know, like, I've had enough. I'm tired. Let's just go ahead and end this. And he just goes and takes the crystal, and then obviously he gets burned. So yeah, but what do you guys think? Like, what was something that?
Say I was on his side. There's oh my god, the elders seem so nonchalant about things. For first off, all right. So first off, this whole issue, it gave me Star Wars prequel vibes, like the prequel trilogy. It gave me like serious vibes of that. It kicked off with an assassin that could be invisible. It was a red assassin, and that red assassin was kind of like a red herring, because I thought that was a young Lord Zed, but it ended up
So did I.
it ended up just being an assassin who was working for Dark Spectre. But when he was telling Sophram that, it doesn't matter what you do, like he'll keep coming. He's just going to keep coming until he takes over everything, Dark Spectre. Like, when it's a situation like that, like, you have to do what you can to protect yourself, protect your people. So for him to go to the elders, and then they're just being real nonchalant of we'll just we won't use the Zeo crystal to fight because that'll make us conquerors. And it's like, well, you have to do something to help your people. Are you're willing to just risk more lives because people have already died because of their inaction?
Right.
So I was on Zofram's side. He really was trying to do what was best for the planet, for his people. I don't think it was a place of selfishness or anything like that. He really just wanted to help his people. So what else? I also like real quick, back to the assassin that we thought was Zed. He reminded me of Darth Maul, kinda,
I can see
from
that.
episode 1.
Yeah.
And just the conflict that Zophram was going through reminded me of Anakin when he was starting to turn to the dark side before he became Darth Vader. I have to say, like, well, going to the end, when we see Zardis or not Zardes, Zafram. These Z names confuse me. Zafram, when he touches the crystal and that thing like well, it doesn't explode, but it creates this huge explosion, and he like it mutilates him. And then to
Yeah.
find out that he becomes Lord Zed. That was cool to me. That was really cool to me.
Yeah, like that was really dope. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
I really felt bad for him, but I really did I really did enjoy that.
Yeah, and what else was there? What else was there? Yeah, before well, I guess it was right after Zardes, he basically manipulates Zafram into thinking that the elders are against him.
Mm-hmm.
So that in turn,
Zordon is also responsible for everything.
Yeah, so that in turn, leads him to becoming Lord Zed.
Yeah.
And it's just that's so crazy. Like Zardes ain't shit.
Zardes ain't shit. Like, I'm like, wow. But I also at the same time, I'm like, but you can see it though. It's the beard. It's the beard. Like that literally, if you don't learn anything from these comics, you do not trust men with beards. Like they are no good. Will, that means you too. Y'all are no good. Y'all are no good. You cannot be trusted. You are evil. But no, like, I thought that was crazy. I was like, damn. And like, he filleted, like, poor Zafram. I was like, that poor baby. Like, just messed him up. So yeah, like that, I actually enjoyed that one a lot because I just enjoyed the whole idea of the whole backstory of Lord Zed. Like, we never actually got to know anything about Zed other than, he just came on season 2. And apparently he also looks like a character from 1989 called Robot Ninja. You guys can look that up. I'm about to post it in the chat because, yeah, like I saw this and was like, no freaking way. He actually does look like that. Hold on 1 second. I'm about to post it in the chat right now because y'all are going to gag. Like, I was like, what in the world? This is definitely Lord Zed for sure. This is Lord Zed.
That's crazy. I Googled it myself. Wow.
Oh, you just Googled it? Now, doesn't he look like Lord Zed? I was like, so wait a minute. So y'all took this, did y'all really use him as inspiration? Like this little B-rate movie?
Wow, at the synopsis for this movie. Good Lord.
Wait, what is it?
Robot Ninja.
Yeah, I just posted it in the chat, like a little picture of him. Like that's supposed to be like it literally gives Zed. Like it gives Zed for sure.
Holy shit. They just copy and paste.
Like it really does give them. Like I'm like, oh wow, like wow, interesting. I was like, interesting. Wow, this is really giving Lord Zed. Awesome. But yeah, like we just know him as just the little creature that came on season 2, and that was that. But to now have an actual background on him and actually find out his lore, that's actually pretty freaking dope. So that actually impressed me a lot more. I have to say, honestly, it impressed me a lot more than Power Rangers this time around. Not saying that Power Rangers was bad, but I just wasn't as glued to it like I was with this one, because like I was like all in it. Like I was like, oh my God, like this is Zed. Like I was like really into it. Whereas this one I was just kind of like, okay, all right, this is cute. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the character. Like I love the character Yale. I think the character Yale is really, really cool. Um, and one thing in common with both of these comics, like Lena was saying, they both decided to just focus on one character. And that was the whole entire comic. Like it was just like we are only focusing on this one character, and that is it. I will say though, for Mighty Morphin, I definitely do like their character focus on Zed more than I like for Yale, which we're gonna get into. But does anyone have anything else they want to add before we go into this?
Leah, Lena, you didn't say anything.
Well, like you guys pretty much covered it. I don't know. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, like both of these issues weren't. They were easy reading, but they weren't really giving it for me. It was just
That's
like,
true.
like, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that's how he became Laura Zed. I was like, why does he look like Laura Zed? I did have obviously like an inkling, but like I wasn't even sure. I was like, is that Laura? Did he just become Laura Zed? And I just didn't realize it, or are they, because exactly kind of what you mentioned, like I didn't know that assassin. I didn't have that same mindset that you guys did with like the assassin being Laura Zed, but like I thought that assassin worked for Laura Zed. So that was like, so it kind of threw me off at the end where I was like, wait a second. Is he like, why does he look like Lord Zed? Like, I'm so confused. And I think because this is my TV mind coming into play where I'm like, I thought Lord Zed was like an actual creature that already existed in that body, not that he became like that, and that's what happened. And then my thing is like, holy crap, this guy just, and I didn't even know what happened, to be honest with you, when he like had that quote unquote explosion. I thought he was trying to leave and they're trying to blow him up. But now I realize like he actually touched the crystal. Because like I guess based on how the for me, how the comics like played out in my imagination was that he was trying to leave, not that he was trying to get, I didn't realize the crystal were already there because I thought he was trying to transfer it to their planet. But so that's why I got confused when they're like, oh, when you guys mentioned that he was holding the crystal, and that's why it burned him. And I was like, oh, I thought he was.
He didn't even like hold it. He just put his finger on it, and that shit
and just
eviscerated
him.
Yeah, like I was so confused. I was like, wait, what? And I didn't even know how. Like I didn't even know where the crystal was held, but I thought it wasn't held where they were. I thought they were on. Was it Eltar? Where were they?
Were they on what Eltar? Were they on the moon?
I believe they're on the moon.
Oh, okay. That's why. I wasn't sure. Right? That's why I'm like, wait, where are they? I thought they were on Altar. Obviously, I misunderstood. Right? I thought they were on Altar, so that's why I thought he was gonna go back to go get the crystal and then bring it. So then, when that scene where it panned to him touching it, I was like, wait, what? When did he tell?
No, like he definitely was gonna go get the crystal to use it. Like he was gonna go get the crystal to go end everything because he was just like, bump this, like we're done.
He was that close to the crystal. That's where I got confused. Like,
yeah,
I thought they weren't close to the crystal. I thought they were on Altar because the fact that Zordon got the help he needed like right away. So I was like, oh.
Okay, well, no, like Zordon was, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Zardis went to go get the crystal. Not Zardis. Zofram went to go get the crystal from somewhere else.
Oh, okay. That does clarify that because I was a little confused there. And then obviously when he ended up looking like Laura Zed, I was like, wait, what? What did I just miss? I'm confused now. Like what just happened, right? And it just ended right there. So I was like, wait, what? Okay, I guess we'll talk about it tonight, so I'll find out what's happened.
But no, like I just that scene, like I think for me, one of the main things that really just, I guess for me, made it a lot more clearer is just the idea of just like, especially if you're following it, but just like in general, like even if you don't know what's happening, like it still kind of follows the TV show lore a little bit. Like it still kind of follows it a bit because even on the TV show, it still even said like, the anyone who touches the crystal, their evilness will cause them to be, destroyed or whatever would happen to them. I can't remember exactly the exact terms that they use in the show, but they do kind of give the idea of like someone impure can't touch the crystal. Like you have to be someone pure of heart, and that's why Tommy went through what he went through when he touched it, because he still at one point he was, Rita's little butt boy. So, like, so that's why he went through all the stuff he went through before finally the crystal recognized the fact that he ended up, becoming a good guy, which allowed him to take it. So, so that's, I guess, the silver lining on that.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's why when he touched it, because he had ill intentions, because he was full of anger, and he had all that. From what I took it as, he was angry, and he wanted to use the crystal, to basically take down these people, basically take down Dark Spectre. The crystal was like, I recognize this is something negative, so yeah, you got a lot of negative emotion there, so I'm gonna just go ahead and burn you. And that's kind of what I took it as. So issue 10 of Power Rangers is going to be dealing with Yale. So Yale basically is this, we know Yale. Yale is the cute little big white and black alien, alien kitty that, is there following the Rangers around. Well, I mean, whatever he is, like he's something. He looks like, really he looks like a big cat. Actually, he looks like Vaporeon, to be honest with you. Doesn't look like Vaporeon?
No.
He don't. So you mean to tell me he doesn't look like Vaporeon?
I don't know who that is.
Vaporeon is a freaking
Pokemon.
No, I know, but that's like how do I even describe it? Doesn't look like Yale.
Yes,
it's
it
all
does.
Watery.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't think you. I don't think you actually
the Eevee,
look it up.
The Eevee, evolution, right?
Yeah. Look at Vaporeon and look at Yale. I just posted a picture of it in the chat.
I was gonna say, how do you spell that? No.
Oh wow, we just posted the same picture.
No.
That is Yale.
No.
He has the little things around his neck and everything. They both look like cats.
No.
Well, I can see the thing around his head.
I can see the thing around his head, but the rest, no.
I see it. They both look like cats, and they both have that little thing around their necks.
Or a fox.
Sure. But no.
I don't know. I don't know what he is. I
like
think
a white
he looks
tiger.
Like Vaporeon.
He literally looks like
he looks like a Vaporeon that's white. Like if you were to cover Vaporeon, if you were to color Vaporeon white,
with
that
stripes?
would be Yale.
With
stripes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that would be Vaporeon.
Like fine, we can agree to that, but yeah, we can agree to that.
Well, regardless, you got this tiger that also looks like he has on scuba gear.
Wait, where did that even come from? Because sometimes you don't see it. I'm like, wait, where did it go?
I know, right? I guess it just comes out when he's angry. I don't know.
I was so confused. I was like, wait, is this the same tiger? Like I had to question that at one point. I was like, wait, and then they kept calling him Yale, and I was like, this is the same tiger.
It is the same one.
But I like baby Yale. He was so cute.
Right?
I was like, oh, you're so cute. Oh.
So you got this tiger who basically is, in other words, so basically we find out that, this is the part that really kind of got me a little confused, because I'm like, did he act like, did he let, because when we first get into it, right, it says safe haven, they're on safe haven at eternity point in the past, and he let out Kaya and the other two aliens that were empowered that were evil, and he let them out, or like he did something, and then he kind of like walked away.
No,
basically
they took him out.
Oh, they took him out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Out. I totally missed that. I missed that completely. Wow. Okay. Yeah, because this is the past. That makes sense. Okay, got it. Because I was very confused. That part confused me. I was like, what the hell is going on? Thank you for clearing that up, because I was like, fuck. But yeah, so Yale is, just walking through, and he, he is like basically with all the little, going through his little life or whatever, and going through Yale growing up, and all the little things that he went through. He was a part of a big family, you know what I'm saying, a big struggling family, you know what I'm saying. He only had his mama. His mama worked 3 jobs. She did the best she could. You know what I'm saying, taking care of him and his litter. But he had bigger plans, and he wanted to be a part of a snow sledding team. And the other team members was like, we don't want you to play with us. We don't want you to come and be a part of our sledding team. You can't participate in the reindeer games. But he had something greater for him. He was destined for greater. And also, too, the story also coincides with the past and the present. So you also see the little situation with the little helper from the previous comic that I had complete malice for. They get attacked by some big ass flower looking dragon monster, and Yale comes in and saves them. Meanwhile, also at the same time, that little punk who had tried to punk out Yale the first time basically, gets all scared and almost pisses himself. And then Yale comes in and saves the day and defeats the little dragon thingy, saving all the kids. The little girl and the little alien boy, the little punk ass alien boy, gets into a little argument. Okay, he's trying to talk that big cash money shit after Yale done came in and saved him, and he acting like he did something. Like, boy. And then the little girl tries to come in, and she's like, oh, you saved us. I love you. I'm sorry. And it's like, girl, fuck you. But anyway, and it basically just shows like Yale was always meant to be a hero. Like, he was always meant to be great. He was always meant to be greater. And we see that at the end, where literally he comes into contact with the blue Omega Morpher, which signifies that he's definitely going to become the next blue Omega Ranger, replacing Kaya.
Wow.
So what do you guys think about this one? I know, Lena, you were like, girl, bye. But
okay, first of all, like, that was literally the whole issue.
Yeah.
That was it. And I'm like, that's it? Like, okay.
Yeah.
I think I guess I felt like they could have added more in the issue. Like, that was it, And I'm like, really though? Like, and I think for somebody who, for example, if I actually had to pay for my comics, I would have been freaking pissed. Like, you took my how much are comics? I don't even know. Like $4, $5 an issue for what?
So,
like, I'm just saying, like, give me something more for my money. I understand that you illustrated it, but come on, give me more.
Yeah,
for
for me, it was like my notes literally are just like 4 sentences because it was just it was just like a complete. how do I describe it? Like not much is happening, and it's just this one quick little journey, and it goes straight through.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I guess the act of saving the kids alerted the blue emissary, and then the blue emissary spoke to Yale and led him to the blue omega morpher or whatever it's called. So I guess that's what that's like when TJ and Cassie saved Cat, and they were, that was what made them worthy of being Rangers. So I guess that's what made Yale worthy.
I can totally see the idea of being like, no, this didn't tickle my fancy. I can see that because it didn't do it for me either. This was definitely one of the more weaker issues, and it's not weaker in terms of like, in terms of me, like not weak in terms of like, oh, it was bad, or like, oh my god, like what the fuck was this? I felt like it was basically more table dressing for us getting to the main meat and taters, which is Yale becoming the next Ranger. So I was like, I kind of understand the whole idea of like, because we never really actually had a backstory on Yale. We never really had one. So that was like, I guess like these issues were like the issues of like, let's just give everybody backstory. And that's basically kind of what they did. They just went ahead and just gave everybody their backstories and gave everybody their things like in these issues. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool that they went ahead and did that specifically for these little characters. But yeah, overall, they both were pretty just by the book, for the most part to me.
I mean, it's kind of cool that a Pokemon looking thing's becoming a Ranger.
That's very different.
Yes.
Like, I wonder
that is very different.
I wonder what they're gonna do. Like, are they gonna give him like a human form? Like, okay, that's a little gross.
I mean, well, you're gonna find out very soon. But I was actually spoiled on it. Like months before it happened, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna even hold you. That's why I was like, I tried my best. Like, I wasn't spoiled, but I kind of knew it was coming. And like, I was like, I just don't want to see how he looks. That was my main thing. I was like, I just don't want to see how he looks. Like, I can live with the fact that, oh, they're going to be like, oh, he's going to become a Ranger. I can live with that. Do not spoil me on how he looks. And like, I promise you, I was dodging that mug like it was nobody's business. Like, I was dodging it like the plague. I was like, I am not about to get spoiled by that. And luckily I wasn't until the comic actually came out, which I was like, yes. But yeah, like I do think that this comic was definitely set up for what's to come. And I am like really impressed with what they actually do with him. So it's really kind of cool. But if I had to if I had to rate these two comics, I would probably say for Mighty Morphin, it would definitely be a 2. No, Mighty Morphin would be a 3, and Power Rangers would be a 2 this time around.
It's a 1.5 for me.
For both, or just
both?
Power Rangers. Ooh,
damn. Like a 3.5 for Mighty Morphin. I really enjoyed it, and I love that we got a huge reveal at the end. And then for
Power Rangers. I give it 2.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, y'all. We reviewed a lot of things. We gave you guys a lot of expert advice. We dragged some things. We read some things. We did a lot this episode, okay? So if you agreed with anything, if you have any comments, questions, whatever, or you just liked what we had to say. If you didn't like what we had to say, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and comment in the comment section. We definitely appreciate it, and we want to hear from you. And yeah, if you've been listening, and if you've been listening to us for all this time, and if you actually stuck around for the entire episode, thank you. But also too, if you've been listening to us for like the past year, 2 years, thank you. We really appreciate you. And yeah, thank you all so much for listening to us. We really do thank you so much. It's a pleasure to always come to you every week and give you some great content, and also post up stuff so that you can also look up on our Instagram and Twitter. So thank you for your support. And my name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.